Hey, it's been a while since you've seen my face. Life has been hectic. How are you? 'Cause I'm bad. Life has been pretty hectic, so I haven't done a video in a while. But this is a video that I really wanted to do. Even though it may not be talked about as much anymore, I still feel the need to do it because why not? And we're going to be addressing Black Lives Matter. And if you don't want to hear it, that means you're a part of the problem. Imagine how tired people are of having to deal with it. So log off. Goodbye. You're disgusting. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 things that go into talking about Black Lives Matter. It's 5 basic topics, which is why Black Lives Matter has been trending recently when people say that all lives matter, the jokes made about Black Lives Matter, how the system is set up to hurt Black people or people of color, and what does this say? How we can all help going into this, I guess you can say, movement. That's what it is, right? Movement. So the first topic is why Black Lives Matter has been trending. Now, I know I'm kind of late. Black Lives Matter hasn't been trending as much anymore, but recently it was, and a lot of people are protesting about it because the recent deaths of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor have all kind of stricken up the fact that we need to realize that Black lives do matter and they are important, and that the police, the world, America is very prejudiced to Black people, which is stupid since we helped build this country, since we did build this country, but whatever. Anyway, basically it struck a nerve in everyone, and everyone is starting to protest and realize that this is unfair treatment, that they don't want this anymore. And I find it kind of very long overdue because people want to say,
oh, get over it because slavery was so long ago and segregation was so long ago.
Segregation was like 60-something years ago. Slavery was 400 years ago. 9/11 was in 2001, and for some reason that's never forget. But slavery is get over it. Segregation is get over it. Black people getting killed in their cars is get over it. But 9/11 is we never forget. Of course we never forget. Because it was a tragedy, but for some reason Black people gotta forget the stuff that you've been doing to us since then, because it's not done, it's still going. Black lives do matter, and that is something very important that people need to acknowledge, because the more that you sit on the fact that this is happening in the world, it's like the worse it's going to get. And I'm not even gonna lie, white people should be happy that we want justice and not revenge. Because revenge already started. Look how we done tore up the place. Y'all did that. Is a big B. Stop it. Y'all did that. You gonna sit up here and complain to people saying that we need to get over this and how it was forever ago when it's still happening today. People are getting killed in their homes. People are being bashed. Life isn't fair, especially for Black people. And people need to acknowledge that so the world can be a better place for everyone. Because you're not finna come up in here, drag my ancestors from the country that they was so happily pleasant in, sitting there with their dark, glorious skin and their beautiful long hair, drag us to a country, and then tell us to work, and then make sure that the country's government is built so that we all feel, although we built the country in general. But my next topic is when people say all lives matter. We never said that they didn't. You just love to, like, I be feeling like white people want to be oppressed so they have something to protest. It's so disgusting that Black people are sitting here protesting, even though Corona's out and about still, it's just not that talked about anymore. People are sitting here protesting for the fact that we're losing our lives because we live. All lives matter is a term that a lot of people say to rebuttal the fact that Black lives do matter. And in this case, it's very disturbing. No one said that all lives didn't matter. Each and every single life is important. But are you being oppressed? Are you getting shot down in your home? Are you being followed in a grocery store? Are you categorized as she probably can't even purchase that, so we should probably kick her out the store? You didn't say yes, right? Oh, that's what I thought. So your life isn't a priority right now. Take it this way. Say you have 5 children, right? One child has a really, really bad cut, and this one child needs a Band-Aid. So it's like, you're gonna give this child a Band-Aid, you're gonna give this child attention because the child is hurt. You have these 4 other children who are like, well, we matter too, so we should get Band-Aids. But there's nothing wrong with them. They just want attention. This one child who actually needs help, who hasn't said anything for the longest about needing help but has still been hurt, is finally coming out and saying that they need a Band-Aid. And everyone else wants to follow, but we matter too, so we should get Band-Aids too. You're going to go and help the one child who needs it because they need it, because they need the help. You're not going to go to everyone else. You're going to prioritize the child who actually needs the help. You're going to prioritize the race who needs the help, because other races, of course, are stereotyped and they will have their shining moment. But Black people stand up for everyone and no one stands up for them. It's time enough that they stand up for themselves, so let them do it. Mind your business. All lives don't matter, but if one life is endangered, all lives should go to help that life. As in, all races should go to help that race. Because we stand up for everyone, no one stands up for us. The next one is the jokes made about Black Lives Matter, and they are the stupidest things I've ever seen in my 16 years of living. But the jokes made about Black Lives Matter are honestly so disgusting. So if you go on TikTok, there are a lot of people who make jokes. They're saying things about the 3/5 compromise. They're saying very stereotypical stuff like, did I pick up the right watermelon? And after that, they're like, now that all my Black people are here, and they hold a whip in their hand and they say, get back to work. I'm like, but you're bright. Like, they constantly sit there and make jokes about this as if this is something that's not real and it's something that you can just sit there and have fun with. And it's honestly so depressing because there are people who go through this through their entire lives and they die knowing that they fought for nothing because nothing has changed. Nothing has changed because people are still against Black lives. And they sit there and when they make apology videos, they go, I didn't mean for it to happen. I didn't think it would come out like this. I didn't even know what I was talking about. The fact that you knew about the 3/5 compromise meant that you learned about it. Meant that you knew that it stood for every 3 slaves made 1 person in the South, so that the South could have a vote because the North had more people in it. So that the South could get a vote, they counted 3 slaves as 1 person so that they could be able to have not a majority vote, but still a vote in what happens in the USA. Knowing about the 3/5 compromise meant that you learned about it. And the fact that you learned about it means that you knew what you was doing when you said it. But there's jokes going around about George Floyd, and this, to be honest, there's going to be a lot of explaining in this video, so I'm sorry in advance, but if you actually want to hear about it, then thank you for staying. But if you know by now, you know that if you're from a certain place, your facial figures or your body figures is actually adapted. It's a mutation to help you adapt to the place that you're in. So because Black people are known for being from Africa, they have that one descendant that's like all the way at the top that's from Africa. Majority of our Afrocentric features are the fact that we have a larger nose bridge or that our lips are thicker, we have wider mouths and stuff like that. Usually in a white person, you see their lips are thinner, their nose bridges are smaller. So there are a lot of jokes going around because George Floyd did have those Afrocentric features, that he had a wide nose bridge and a wide mouth. He had thick lips, which is a blessing. Some of y'all hating. But he had those, and this white girl posted on her Facebook, you mean to tell me this guy couldn't breathe? How stupid must you be? This man had just about 800 pounds worth of men sitting on top of him, including one on his lungs, one kneeling directly on his neck. And someone had the nerve to say that if he can say he can't breathe, then he can breathe. Imagine using the last words of your oxygen that you have left in your body to tell someone you can't breathe. This man was sitting there crying out to his mama, and they stood on his neck. And I hope the girl who charged him for having that fake check, I hope she goes to jail. I just hope she goes to jail. That's it, because she deserves it. I want you to see what you did. And I feel like a lot of people are going to say, stuff how because he has bigger features, how he should have been able to breathe. And you don't seem to understand that once your airflow is restricted, no matter how big your nose bridge is, how wide your mouth can get, you still will not be able to breathe. The next topic is how the system is set up for Black families to fail. Of course, this happens to a lot of people of color, but of course we're talking about Black people right now. So Black people are, this is also a stereotype, unfortunately it kind of is true. When you see a lot of Black people, you think they live in the ghetto, or they live in a community that has a high crime rate, that has low income. And unfortunately, this is true for a lot of families. Not only is it just Black families, but we are talking of them right now because all lives matter. Black lives are being oppressed, so we're going to talk about them. Please and thanks. So this is something that happens a lot, and there are a lot of people. So it works like this basically. Say a Black woman goes in for a job interview. All A's. From the time she walks in, she holds herself proper. She has her nice natural hair out and everything. The time she walks in there, they already made up their mind that she's not getting the job. But this guy who's white, he has a white sounding name. He has a C+ average. He has the job because he's white. There are a lot of families who are, a lot of people who are treated like that, so they have to get low funding jobs. That's the government working. They get these low funding jobs, but because they can't only get this one job to maintain their entire family, they have to get 2 low funding jobs, meaning that they don't have a lot of time to spend at home. Now, when you put inside what the government actually puts inside of Black communities, a lot of fast food places. Now, when you put all these fast food places in and you realize that you don't have any time to cook, you have to provide for your kids. So you buy them all this fast food. When you buy them the fast food, you realize that all you're eating is fast food. You end up with clogged arteries, heart problems, you got diarrhea, you got this, that, high cholesterol, heart attack. All of this is happening. And you realize because you have a low funding job, but you don't have time to leave from, so you gotta go get the fast food. The fast food that you give to your kids is causing them these problems. But then Black people aren't giving good health care, so they gotta get a 3rd job. And this 3rd job still means that they don't have time to be at home cooking, so they gotta still go back and get the fast food. The system is set up for Black people to not be a priority. It's all set up really for them to fail. Don't get good health care, so you gotta get another job. You get another job and you realize you gotta keep eating the same crap that you've been eating the whole time. The next topic, I'm actually gonna add a plus topic, so there's 6 topics, but this is the 5th topic, the last one I said we're talking about, but it's not. So the 5th topic is how can we help? Now, if you're like me, as you know, coronavirus is still going around and everything. That is still a big problem. Of course, not a lot of people are talking about it because they're more focused on the protest. But corona is still a very big problem. And if you're like me, you have strict parents like me, they don't want you outside. I told my dad I was going on a walk the other day. He said, wear your mask, make sure you have hand sanitizer, don't let your shoes touch inside the house. It's all that. My parents don't like when I go outside, especially the fact that I have a low immune system. So if you can't go outside and protest, there are a bunch of petitions to sign. You can look them up. You can go to the pages of these people. You can post something on Instagram saying hashtag justice for so-and-so. Post something else that says hashtag Black Lives Matter. You have to make sure that you use any type of platform you have to help express how you feel. If you see my Twitter, girl, we's blowing up on there, honey. So a lot of these celebrities, if you look up their hate crimes, they are known for saying a lot of disrespectful stuff during to Black people. They are known for not wanting to collab with certain Black people. You have white YouTubers or different color YouTubers who just don't want to collab with Black people. They put a hard ER on that N-word. And then they want to say, oh, I apologize because I didn't even mean it like that. And how else can you mean it? I would love to know. Hate me because I was born scares me every day. That's something that I've learned. Like, I don't want to go to college in the South because I'm afraid to die. And I've never told that to anyone before, but it's the truth. I refuse. I feel like the second that I get there, I'm going to die. Something's going to happen to me. I could be jogging in my street and someone could lynch me. it has happened, as we recently have seen. Honestly, it's disgusting that people have to talk about this because no one should ever have to fight for the right to live. And even the military, like the military are known, like I heard that Trump was like calling out the military to defend, I don't know, against people who are protesting. The military is here to protect us. Why would you go to a protest about police brutality to call the police so the police can brutalize the people who are protesting against police brutality? Let me lift up my hair because maybe the intelligence isn't seeping through because I don't understand how that works. Honestly, this subject is tiring, and I hope that every single person who's suffered from police brutality, I hope their soul rest in peace. I hope that their families get justice for them. I hope that this isn't the world that we have to live in, because I feel like if I have kids, it's going to break my heart to have to teach my son or daughter, or both of them, that they are a target. The world is going to hate them no matter what they do. Anything they do, they finna hate them just because they're black. Being black is a blessing, but it comes with so much hardships that you wouldn't even begin to understand. We stressed out here. And I'm glad that I've never gotten to the point where someone has come up into my face with a gun or threatened to kill me, but I have experienced my own mini version of racism. It's just hard, and I hope that everyone who deals with it in their lifetime, or people who have families who go through this, people who have friends who go through this, people who lost their friends and families, I hope that the people who are gone rest in peace, and I hope that their families can find every way to bring them to justice, because they did not deserve it, no matter what happens. This was depressing. This was very depressing. I might cry.